That eerie darkness and the hum of the fluorescent lighting was so menacing and built such a world of atmosphere for this piece that I knew this is not going to go as planned. This is not going to be a simple tennis match. That when the figure emerged, I was ready for it, but it was still a surprise for me. It just kept on building and unfolding in tension, and the environment, while seeming pedestrian, had that menacing quality that they built from the beginning, and I thought it was really effective at our final moments of it as well. Quite the match.
I think this is very well done with the shot where the stranger is sort of captured through the main character's arm as he's sort of bouncing the ball. I think that's a really cool technique. Definitely builds suspense and fear. The classic use of the lights kind of going in and out for pacing, I think really does well to build tension. So I think overall the filmmaker implemented, these sort of steps in order to convey their message.
I like the intensity of the scenes building for suspension when the tennis player is practicing and seeing somebody in the distance who doesn't respond, and he just keeps practicing. The Sphinx turning the lights up and down was a simple act, but it really gave you this eerie feeling. You really didn't know what was about to happen next, but it felt bad. And there's a twist, I think, with the tennis player beating off the Sphinx with his racket. It lets you know that it was probably imagined and that the Sphinx was a way of telling him he's going to beat the pressure of the competition that's getting on his nerves.
Right in the opening, it caught my attention because of the cinematography and the use of color, the darkness on the tennis court, but I just loved the colors and the cinematography here. And the close-ups on the guy's face were really great. Really had a good sense of, suspense. It kept me wondering, and who is this man in the distance? And then did not expect it to be a monster type figure. It definitely kept me curious and intrigued. And I just thought, this guy's really, into his tennis game. So where is he, just overplaying and having hallucinations, or what's going on here? So I would like to see more of this, actually.
It captured the essence of horror very quickly. That obscured man in the shadows, the lights turning on and off, him moving closer. It's clear that he was being chased at some point, and then you kind of get the sense towards the end, oh, it's a man in a spider mask or a Spider-Man. He didn't seem scared enough to me. And so it made me wonder, is this all a figment of his imagination? Or maybe this is someone he fights before. Maybe he fights the Spider-Man every week, right? I was so impressed with how quickly they were able to bring in this sense of fear immediately, just with the lights turning on and we see some figure in the background and like, what is that? And so at first I'm like, is that his dad? No, it's closer. It's close, so but that's how scary movies go. The more you peek behind the curtain and the closer you get to the monster, the more ridiculous it all is.
The environment that it sets up, it has a very dreary, unnerving ambience to it for what's essentially a pretty normal environment. That ambience definitely helps to create this kind of liminal energy to it because our main character, the tennis player, he's supposed to be alone, but there are these things that are just watching him. The ending is definitely very ambiguous, but it leaves you wondering what just happened. All in all, it was very suspense ridden.
The film really captures a player who is so into tennis that he won't even answer his dad's call and is serving at night almost alone. Lots of good suspense in the writing and directing. Very effective use of light and dark, sharp sound effects, and scary music. Great jump scares with the masked figure. I would love to see more of this story. What happens next?